Audio Jungle.
Reinvention.
He has one.
In the podcast cafe.
I swear everybody has one. You're trying to figure out flows. I was listening to a piano flow that sounded like a trap flow the other day. You know, I was listening to a piano song being mixed into a trap beat the other day, and I said, okay, I'm in that pocket. I need to encourage everybody to see the beauty of what happens when you put them together. You know, that's what we did with that DJ Zandy single that we did with Monks. You know, where we said, let's make a hip hop beat out of piano sounds.
Wow.
You know, not the Ricky and Tyler ICU way, where it was just slowed down and it was boom, 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 boom. But it's like, no, let's go to 95. That's the hip hop tempo, but let's use all the elements of this thing to make, you know, because I think there's beauty in bringing the two worlds together. The two worlds together come from such great and rich backgrounds that when you put them in a mix, dog, I swear to you know, that's why you have a vocalist, that's why you have a legend, that's why you have a Caesar Alakan, that's why you have a young Stana. You know, those are all people who come from hip hop.
True.
You know, if you talk to a Kabza, he only listens to hip hop.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Kabza listens to hip hop in the car. Kabza doesn't listen to piano.
Damn, man. Geez, bro. RapiYano. And I heard that after one of your performances, I think it was on SABC One or something. Was it because of your transformation that term is now called? Because I had never heard it before until there was Caesar Alakai.
Yes, because
and I have to bring that up.
it was Ricky. Ricky, we were shooting one of these backyard what's. I wonder what happened to that episode. Actually, it'll never come out. But
Audio Jungle.
Reinvention.
On the podcast cafe.
I swear everybody has one. Just waiting to unload on a nigga. Understand it, but I also do believe that artists are just a small reflection of what society is going through. You know, we've had artists, you know, like you said, we've had artists go out to suicide. We've had artists just die because of health reasons and stress and frustration. We've had artists get killed. We've had artists die from accidents. These are all the ways that people out there are going out, bro. Like, people are going out like that as quickly and as frequently. Outside of celebrity or famous funerals, I've literally technically attended a funeral every week since the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? That's what, 6, 7, 8 weeks so far since the beginning of the year. You know, so now we're going to another one. So it's just a reflection, yes, of what's going on. I think it's a reflection of what's going on around us. Like post-COVID, you know, there's been very, you know, we're all on the brink. You're either on the brink of going further or on the brink of death.
Why is that, bro? Like, and
I
that's so
can't
true.
explain it. I can't explain it myself, you know, but I think that thing was a life-changing moment in all our lives, you know. Another friend of mine she's a chakra and she's much deeper into this thing. She was saying that, history has always proven that, you know, things like, you know, COVID or any pandemic or whatever is meant to naturally do what something like the body would do, you know. I don't mean it in that way, but like how the body would naturally get rid of dead weight or something that is not needed in the system anymore. And it doesn't get rid of something that hasn't already done its job, right? So when the skin comes off, the skin has done its job. The skin can go, it's time for new skin. You know, when the hair's gone off and the hair grows, it's time for new hair. You know, and it does feel like that, you know, with just how rapid and how crazy and how wiped out we all got in like the space of like 2 years. It's like there was people who had already done their job by the time that period comes. There's people who still had a lot of work to do. Believe it or not, as drastic and as wild as it may be, look around, dog. Keenan did his job.
That's so true.
In 35 years. between the space of what, when he was 18, between 18 and 35, he did more than many people have in a longer period of time.
True.
You know? So if somebody was to say that was his time, that was the time, I would believe it. I'm not happy about how it happens. That's always going to be the most painful thing about it. It's just the how. But if that was the time, I can be content because he did it. You know, he did what he needed to do. Ricky did what he needed to do. You know, Dimples did what he needed to do.
Those guys were all like a clique, man. It's like they're all like a clique of, you know, friends, if I may say, and to lose all of them in the space of like 3 years, one after the other, gets one thinking. Do you think there'll be any lessons to take after this? Because I think the end of AKA's life is surely going to be the beginning of something else within, let me not just say the hip-hop industry in South Africa, but musically, I mean, like all across Africa. What are the lessons to take from this?
Life is too short, man. Life is really, really too short. Like, I really want to come up with some magnificent scientific explanation to it, but like, my nigga, life is too short. Like, Pro Kid was too young.
Yo.
You know, Pro Kid was too young. WHP was too young. Ricky was too young. Keelan was too young, man. Like, Killer Kao was too young. You know, The Voice was too young. Like, you know, life is too short. But even with that too young, all those brews did their job.
True.
That's the other thing. It's like, just do your job, dog. Because you could vibe tomorrow. I can step out here and vibe. Can I say that I've done my job? That's all we all need to ask ourselves, dog. If you were to vibe now, like all the brews vibe now, can you safely say you've done your job? There's a lot of people who I can say, no, my nigga did what he needed to do. He inspired every soul that he needed to inspire. He touched every soul that he needed to touch. He encouraged, like, it's an open secret. Nasty exists because of Keenan. He did his job. You know, that brew did his job.
Audio Jungle.
He has one.
On the Podcast Cafe.
I swear everybody has one. You know, Casper exists because of Cooley and WHP. They did their job.
I feel you.
You know, and that's our job. We are here for the greater good. We're here for the rest of the universe, for the rest of existence, for the rest of humanity, for the rest of all these other souls. Trying to navigate and find a way to evolve the population and how we think. You know, a simple song can do that.
Let's talk as Kulume Usizwe. Usizwe, it strikes me as the character like Upagamisikasi and shout out, man, to the townships across South Africa because he supports man Basekasbana.
Yeah.
How has Usizwe in the last, let's say, 12 months, Usizwe, how has it been? He approach and all that? Because Reason was I would say a very subtle character who was into himself a little bit more than just, you know, it was...
Caesar's definitely a savage.
Where's my guy?
Caesar's definitely a savage. Serial DM slider of notes.
I'm confident now.
Heartless mother, what? Bastard, man. I don't know, man. I think again, we keep saying I was Reason that whole time. Caesar. It's like Caesar is really like just a reflection of of really me and the things that I see more regularly. You know, I think Reason was a character. I think Reason was the character. And Caesar was the real one. Yeah. Reason was a character that existed to tell people stories and to tell, you know, and to reflect, you know, to be a reflection of what people are and what people see and what people think, you know. Because if you really think about it, people never even believed that Reason could speak Vernac.
Exactly. Hey, that's the thing. As for Usizwe, I was like,
how that's I understand that. So that thing was something that we created to tell these stories, you know, to create it, to smart and whatever. This one is just like, yo, now being ourselves.
Okay.
Now we're being ourselves. Now we're telling them how we see it, how we live it, how we witness it, how it happens. You know, they were all there. in front of you, and we're talking about it because the question is Huirala, and I realized it's such a more comfortable way to document South African history.
It is.
It's a way more comfortable way because also there is no attachment to it. You know, not everything has to be about you. That's not the thing I love about piano. Like, Lady Dude doesn't drink. But she has a song that says Mama. She didn't do it for herself. She did it for all those kids out there who were getting drugged. Yes, and she took that from another clip from the internet, which was a clip of a girl who was talking about you know? So it's on the internet. It was a big thing with art. The Lady Dude didn't come up with this thing originally, and she said, no, but I'm not here to come up with everything for myself. I'm here to make music for you guys. You know, because just because I don't drink means I must make music for people who don't drink. No, I'm making music for people who drink. So me going into that space makes me much more free because it's not always about me. Yeah, and that's what hip hop is. Me. Who wrote the verse? Me. If you wrote the verse and we don't respect you, people start questioning you because you didn't write the verse. It's like, oh, thank God that guy wrote that verse. You know, because then you wouldn't give us something as great as this, you know? So it's another culture. It's another culture of sharing ideas, another culture. I've had kids change a word in the studio. Some guy I don't even know. God, man, yes, man, mangati zombolo. Uchinchi zombolo, uchi ingolovan. You know, it's same thing, man. But the kid is right, you know, or one athlete. God, man, mangati lapana, siavu. He's on game. Now he's with your fuck. This motherfucker right? Yeah. That's the spirit, that's the energy of that culture, dog. And for me, I think it makes it a much more like clearer picture to paint for the consumer. You know, because I'm using your language, I'm using your terminology, I'm using your theories, I'm using your beliefs, I'm using your habits. I'm talking about things that are already in, you know, like Habli. Where did Habli come from? Like out of nowhere, somebody Habli said to me.
Yeah, in a way.
I want to say what you get when we Habli and I'm a pipe one up, I know, go school, I see, like, Sunday. Oh, guys, we're going to drink. But now we're changing our minds because of pipes. So I enjoy it. Hip hop is more layered, man. Hip hop is more layered. Hip hop is more challenging. Hip hop has a lot more, you know, takes a lot more to get to.
Audio Jungle.
He has one.
On the Podcast Cafe.
I swear everybody has one.